This week on Bias Free News, we're going to be talking about the decriminalization of marijuana, all of your COVID updates, and how Donald Trump's legal challenges against the 2020 election are dwindling. Welcome to Bias Free News, where we watch the news so you don't have to. We've been gone for a week, so we have 2 weeks of news to cover. A lot has happened, but let's get right into it because we are all about keeping it nice and brief on this show. The first thing we want to talk about is the election because that's all that everyone is talking about all the time. Donald Trump's challenges of overturning the projected election results currently are dwindling. A lot of the legal challenges and lawsuits have been thrown out or dismissed, and he is running out of options in which he could prove that there was enough voter fraud in order to overturn any of the projected states. In fact, Biden currently has enough certified votes to win the election, as Arizona and California have both now certified their electoral votes. And as long as that's the next legal step for Biden to ensure that he wins this election, and that's a really, really big step for him. And on the Trump side of things, even General Attorney Barr, which is Trump's personal attorney and a really, really big Trump fan and one of his most loyal cabinet members, he has admitted at this point that the amount of voter fraud is not substantial enough to overturn the current election results. We'll see if that maintains how it is. Biden has begun picking many of his cabinet members who are going to be working within the Biden administration if he is inaugurated. And a lot of them are some familiar faces, a lot of old Obama guys who will bring about a lot of the same types of foreign policy that you saw during the Obama administration. With COVID relief bill has now looking brighter than ever, as Nancy Pelosi has said she's more willing to hear more of a smaller relief package, as the Democrats are hoping for a much bigger one, Republicans want a smaller one, and Nancy Pelosi says she's more willing to negotiate now. A Supreme Court case that came out on COVID recently was voted 5-4 in favor of the Republicans, that businesses and churches could not be on two different rule sets. Essentially, what was happening was that places in California and New York, they were having different policies for essential businesses and churches, and basically the Supreme Court ruling is that they have to have the same standards. So, for example, one of the standards that they had was that essential businesses could remain open, but they were closing churches, and the Supreme Court has ruled that that's not allowed, that they can either both be closed or both be open, but they can't have different standards set there. Also, news with the vaccine has been really hopeful, as another vaccine has now shown that it is in the 90th percentile in effectiveness, and some studies have even shown 100% effectiveness in terms of mitigating your symptoms, which is really, really good news. One of the more pessimistic views of the vaccine, however, is that it does we're not sure if it will limit how much you are able to transmit to another person. So even though the user of the vaccine won't be as at risk, it could still be damaging to the surrounding crowd. And lastly, the House has passed a decriminalization of marijuana bill, which, if goes through, will decriminalize marijuana on a federal level, which will pave the way for more states to have decriminalization of marijuana on a state level. So that's really good news for the marijuana team. That is all for our show this week. Right after this, we are going to be having the Levi Erickson Show, and then later this week, we're going to be releasing a second episode of Why Christ. So please tune into that. Until next week, this is Bias Free News. If you like the show, please like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Also, please check out our other Leviticus Studios productions, including the Debunk series, Bias Free News, and Why Christ. The Levi Erickson Show is produced by Wyatt Winfield and Peyton Havilla. Music by River Erickson and Andrew Montgomery.